I've been reading 3 books for a month, maybe more. And there are 3 books that I've been reading. Just because I've been reading them for so long, it feels like I'm trapped in them. And like, I'm enjoying my time with the books. It's just that I need it to end. So that's what we're doing in this vlog today, is you and me, we are going to try and finish all 3 of these books so I can continue on and read new things and like finally kind of move on to bigger and better worlds. We're going to start off with the ones I'm like the closest to finishing. The first one is The Strength of the Few. The Strength of the Few is the second book of the Hierarchy series by James Islington. It's a high fantasy world. The magic system is quite intricate. It's basically it's kind of like a pyramid scheme. Like you give half of your will, essentially like half of your power as a person, to the person above you, and they give half to the one above them, and then it forms a pyramid.
It's not a pyramid scheme. It's not even a scheme per se.
So I was really excited to read The Strength of the Few because I loved The Will of the Many. I gave The Will of the Many 5 stars. But I've realized, like, The Strength of the Few, I think the pacing is just not where I want it to be. It feels like we're wasting a lot of time. We're following different timelines, if that makes sense. I can't really go into detail because I don't want to spoil it. But we're essentially following different timelines. One of the characters, this is something we've known since like the first fucking chapter. I'm 70% of the way through in this book now. And they've just gotten this information. 70% in. And it just feels wasted because we as the reader know about this. It's like, okay, we know this, please move on, please like make progress. But it just feels like we're really stuck in a way that I just don't really enjoy. But yeah, because of the different timelines, I do think it's quite interesting to see the differences between them. I can't go into detail. Sorry, it is a sequel. So yeah, so this one I have been mostly reading through audiobook, and I think that's maybe why it's taking me so long as well. It's a very long audiobook. The book in general is just really long as well. I think it could have been shorter. It just feels like nothing's really happened. So I'm not vibing with it that much. I still think I'm going to continue with these series. I'd love to see the end, and I'm kind of highly anticipating the end of the book because hopefully there's some kind of, I want to say reveal, but like I want to learn more about the world and the setting and like figure out what's going on. I will be making a point in trying to read quite a significant amount each day, like making that more of a priority in this coming week, just so I can finish these books. Let's hope the end of The Strength of the Few. Like I just want a little bit more excitement. I want a little bit more. Time has passed. So I've thought about it a bit, and I think my problem with this book is I think it's kind of a little bit of middle book syndrome. It's like it feels like we're kind of just wandering. It doesn't feel like there's an aim. Like book 1 was about training, getting ready, and there was this thing happening at the end that like felt like the monumental point that we were working towards. But this book doesn't have something like that I can like be like, okay, I know where we're going. I know what's happening. I know the aim of this book. So I think that's kind of adding to the chaos of it. I'm now at chapter 57, but I am making progress, and I do have the ebook as well. So I will be checking tonight about making even more progress, maybe listening to it while I take a bath. Just making sure that I'm reading a little bit more consistently. No, guys. Okay, so I'm getting takeaways because we didn't have all the ingredients for food. Anyways, regardless, I'm listening to the audiobook now, and it's fucking annoying me, and I just have to say it. This is kind of similar to my previous issue, but it's specifically related to the powers of this world, like the magic system, if you will. So the one character has now done something that he deems impossible, but it's something we as the reader know and understand he should be able to do. And there's this, he has mentioned like probably 5 fucking times how flabbergasted he is at oh my gosh, I can do this, like it makes no sense, like, oh my god, I'll have to figure it out later. Sorry, I'm being a little bit dramatic, but it's just really annoying me now. And I'm just like, yes, I know you can do this. Yes, I know this is possible. Why are you freaking out? I've had a very rough day. I'm so overstimulated. Like, I've calmed down at least a little bit now. That's why I'm able to do this. Otherwise, I would be freaking out. Anyways, a lot has happened. This is for my wrist. It just randomly started hurting like a few days ago, but I decided to take the tape off the first time I put it on. And then I realized it was actually helping. So now I've just put on a little bit of KT tape just to help. So that happened. I was bit by a dog. I'm not flipping you off. I'm just trying to show you. You'll see there's like that little, the wound. Can you see it? Can you see it? So I was bit by a dog. While at work, so many people tried to contact me and message me, and it was a lot. And my job itself, like, it requires attention. Oh my gosh, it was a lot, and I don't have the emotional capacity for that. Anyways, wanted to share. So around 80%, shit started popping off. So things have gotten a little bit crazy right now. In the one timeline, something happened that caused kind of a major shift. There's one chapter where everything wasn't really explained. And it made me realize, like, because it made me so uncomfortable because I was so confused, because I was like, I'm missing something. I'm fucking missing something. And I have been paying attention, and I have been like with the book. So it just felt uncomfortable. And I was just like, why am I missing something? And it made me realize that I think I've become so used to being spoon-fed, because I've noticed in some of the other chapters, it feels a lot like there's a lot of kind of over-explaining happening. Like, they're kind of like, oh, he's feeling this and he's doing this and this means this, and there are these implications to this political action. And like, I feel like I was getting so used to that. Yeah, so when nothing was really forthcoming in that one specific fucking chapter, I was like, I was going crazy, because I was just like, what do you mean? What's happening? What is happening? I don't know if I do think it was kind of purposeful on the author's part to kind of dip you a little bit into the confusion, into the chaos that is happening, but it just felt so. Anyways, I'm like 83% now, so I think I might be able to finish it tomorrow. I'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna read still today. Maybe it's just because I'm now at the climax or whatever the fuck. And a lot of things are happening. I don't know if this is going to be the calming experience that reading can be. So I finished The Strength of the Few. So sorry for the abrupt cut off. I kind of got a message that first made me anxious, and I got another message that made me really happy, and then tears. So I had a little cry sesh. It was really nice, really cathartic. Got everything out. So that's what happened. What else? Okay, yeah. So the book, I am giving it 3 stars. I don't know. I'm still excited to see what happens in the next book, so that's good at least. But I do think, when I was mentioning kind of the over-explanation, I realized here at the end especially, just because a lot of high emotion things were happening, or things that were supposed to feel high emotion, it just didn't feel like that was happening. Like, there was this really shocking moment at one point. I was flabbergasted. And I think that's one of the only times I really felt in the story like I was part of what's happening, and I was like anxious with the characters, and I was really stressed. But that was like a second, and then it passed. And the way, I don't know if it's because of Fissy's development as a character, but I feel like he's almost constantly trying to control his emotions. So a lot of the time he's talking about the emotions he's suppressing, and we're not really, like, it feels a lot more telling and not showing about, like, telling us, oh, he's pushing down his grief or his anger or his sadness or his joy or his surprise or whatever, but it feels like that's constantly happening, and like these emotions are constantly slipping out or something's happening. It feels like the emotions are constantly being described to me in a way that doesn't make me feel the emotions. Does that make sense? Also, I feel like because of the setup of the second book, like this is a perfect opportunity to be exploring this man's sexuality, but this is a straight fantasy, so I can't be hoping for that much. But it's like, it's the perfect opportunity. I'm sorry, it's the perfect opportunity. Like I said, yeah, the end is interesting, but it just feels, I don't know, it feels, I don't want to say useless, but it just feels like it took me way too long to get to this point where it's like I don't particularly care. Also, again, it feels like I was being constantly told about things I should already know. Okay, so it took me 45 days now to complete the Strength of the Few. I did it. Yay! The funny thing is, like, I don't even mind that it took 45 days. It's just the fact that it's been taking me so long to finish this book specifically, because I've finished 2 other books. Actually, maybe even more since I've started The Strength of the Few. So it just feels like, why is this one taking so long? And it's a really long book, so it kind of makes sense why it was taking long. But anyways, so I think another reason I've been kind of stuck on these books as well is because I always read 3 books at one time. I read in each format. So I read an ebook, an audiobook, and a physical book. So now we've done the audiobook, so we have 2 left. I think a big reason why it's taking me so long to get through these books is because I'm not dedicating enough time just to one. I'm reading all of them in little bursts and little bits and pieces. So I haven't really been able to like sit down and really focus on one. Because a lot has been happening as well. You need to take that into account. So now our next book is going to be my audiobook. No, my ebook. And that is the Book of Luke. So this is a reality show based book, and it's kind of giving reality show. It's like there's drama, there's twists, there's turns. Some of the drama has been fun and juicy. Some of the drama I just don't care. But anyway, so our main character, he went on this reality show, The Endeavor. I think it's The Endeavor. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I think it's called The Endeavor. But anyway, so he went on this reality show when he was younger. And that's where he met his husband. Things happened. Drama happened. And now we're following 2 timelines. Him in the past, as we're like uncovering all the nonsense that happened there. And him in the present, where him and his husband have now split. And he's trying to get custody of the kids, but he needs money to be able to do that. He's going on this reality show to earn money, and he's meeting up with a lot of the people that he went on the reality show with in the past. We are uncovering stuff, and there's constant hints to like something massive, like massively like egregious that this man has done and will do as well. That's another thing. Like there was this mention about like my sins of my past don't compare to the sins that are going to happen, or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I'm having a lot of fun. I don't think it's like a 5-star, but I'm feeling 4-star vibes at the moment. I've been watching some Survivor recently, so it's just kind of perfectly kind of slotting in. But the way that this show is set up, it just doesn't make sense to me, like as a real show, if that makes sense. I don't think it's supposed to necessarily. I do think it is kind of mocking reality shows like Survivor, but like some of these like challenges and stuff, I'm just like, this is absolutely fucking absurd. I can't imagine that this would actually happen and this would be fine. But honestly, there's some really weird reality shows out there, so I don't know. But anyway, so I'm having fun. So that's the next book. Let's get this. Okay, we're doing this book. We've got this. So last night I read until 75%. So I have gone up 25%. So I think I should be able to finish it today. It depends, because I'm having like a Bridgerton watch party tonight, because I think it came out yesterday, the episodes, or was it the day before? I don't know. but I'm having a watch party. Hey, I've got to be driving like a lot today, actually. I'm jonesing for an audiobook. Not sure if I want to do that. As you can see, I've like just woken up. Also, look at I've lost a nail. My nail! That's an inside joke, sorry. Yeah, so I've lost my nail. Actually, I haven't lost it. It's here somewhere. I put it on my desk. Wait, you're on top of it. This is messy, okay? I was truly flabbergasted at multiple points during this reading session. Our main character does not make good decisions, okay? And he's kind of making some bad decisions, and we're seeing also stuff that happened in the past. So books can sometimes do this thing where to build tension, they'll kind of reference something that's going to happen in the future. Like the person now in the present didn't know what was coming, and la 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 la. I really don't like that way of building tension. I think it's kind of lazy, I'm gonna be honest. This book is not that egregious, just to be clear, but it happened like a few times where I'm like, okay, girl, I get it. He's going to be making bad decisions. Calm down. But there's been more and more references to the main character, like him referencing his future self, rewatching the show, having kind of a change in perspective from his present self. I don't know, but that's happened a few times, but that I don't mind because I am actually quite curious because we don't really know what's being shown, like what footage they are going to put in the actual show. What else? Like I said, yeah, it's messy. Messy. Okay, but like to a degree that I like, but also I've realized like some of it's also making me uncomfortable where I kind of like have to pause, put the book down and just be like, oh my God, this is a bit intense. I think it's because like, I don't really have a similar reaction to when I watch a reality show, for example. I think it's because I've gotten to know the character, Luke, the main character. I gotten to know him quite well in a way that like you can't really with reality show stars. You can't that isn't the platform to get to know them. So I think when stuff happens with Luke, it just feels a lot more personal. Like it feels I can tell that this is affecting his real life and his feelings and stuff. So it's like I think it's interesting to see the difference in the way that I'm reacting because this is still a reality show book. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm being quite as eloquent as I would like, but I did also just wake up. So, anyways, I'm gonna make myself an iced coffee in my wicked cup. You're leaning against it. So I'm gonna make myself a nice coffee and I'm gonna have a little reading sesh. And we'll see if I can finish it today before I go to work. After my work, like I said, there's watch party stuff happening, so I don't have the time. So I'm gonna see if I can finish it before I go to work. Oh, sorry, I'm reading right now. And there's this like, I think I've mentioned it earlier. There's this thing he apparently did in one of his past seasons. Like, yeah, so that's been mentioned kind of throughout the book. And I think we're getting to the point where it's getting revealed. But I think I should mention, I don't mind that. Like, I don't mind a secret past. It's not my favorite way, but like, I don't mind that. But trying to make me more anxious for the future, something that's gonna happen in the future, like, I feel like that's stupid. Like, just tell me the story. Like, the action itself should be the thing that makes me feel the tension. It shouldn't be you being like, oh my gosh, this is gonna happen or something's gonna happen in the future. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I just finished the Book of Luke. Literally just finished, and yes, I'm still in my pajamas. I've been busy, okay? Goodness. The end made me a little bit teary-eyed. Okay, so let's talk about the reveal. My reaction to it, not the actual reveal. But his dark secret past, it's already something I knew. Like, we were given more context behind what happened, but I think I was expecting it to be a lot worse than it was, or it's still bad. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't that bad. No, it was still that bad, but it was like, I don't know, it was something I already kind of could assume or just was like, okay, this makes sense. It wasn't something that came out of left field. But yeah, I was kind of thinking about it. I do think the over exaggerated reality show and like these really extensive trials that they have to go through, there is a little bit of satire there when it comes to that aspect of the reality show and kind of the absurd way that the challenges are written. I think I'm gonna give this like a 4.5. I really enjoyed it. I think it was maybe like a little bit too long, but like overall I really enjoyed this. Like I said, the end made me teary-eyed. It was a really comforting ending, kind of just in the way that life is messy. Life is complicated. Things aren't always going to be picture perfect, but you kind of find a way to work through the issue and like still be with the people you love and the people you care about. So yeah, so I really liked it. And like at the absolute end, literally at the absolute end, like we're kind of left on a cliffhanger. And I'm just like, you motherfucker. You motherfucker. Damn it! Anyways, yeah, so I did remember this book is pitched as less ex-survivor, so it is like complicated older queer men stories, like very complicated love lives, and then the absolute absurdity of reality TV. So highly recommend, especially if you're someone that likes reality TV, and you like kind of the drama of it all and you like something that's a little bit messy. I think you'll like this. And yeah, I'm so glad I read that. It took me 21 days. 21 days to read this book. So this one's not that bad. But the real egregious perpetrator, our last book of this vlog. Actually, I have it because it's my physical book. That is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Literally almost halfway, so I'm like 49%. So I'm like halfway through the book. Okay, I started reading this the 8th of November. So it's been about 2.5 months that I've been very slowly picking my way through this book. It is a classic, so I do read them a little bit slowly just because the language is a little bit more complex than what I'm used to. So I do kind of have to use my brain just a little bit more. Jane Eyre is a classic novel following our titular character, Jane Eyre. So at the start, we follow her kind of growing up and her kind of being in kind of miserable circumstances and her kind of creating a life for herself. But I think the technical plot of this is when she becomes the governess at an estate, is that what it's called? But she becomes the governess at a house, and she kind of falls in love with the master of the house. But there is a secret. This is a little bit gothic. Jane Eyre is a baddie, that's all I can say. Like she is that bitch. I'm sorry, it's true. She really, like, she can be such a baddie sometimes, like especially when she was a child. She was not about anyone's bullshit, okay? She was not about anyone's bullshit. And then now when she's older, it's so funny because she is kind of jealous of this one woman, and fuck, it was hilarious. She basically just said this woman sucks. She's so unremarkable. It was this whole fucking paragraph. But it was just the way that she read her. Bro, for someone who like annotates my physical books, I don't really annotate in a way that I can find stuff. Well, here's where she like roasted someone. With deference be it spoken. The contrast could not be much greater between a sleek gander and a fierce falcon, beneath a meek sheep and the rough-coated, keen-eyed dog, its guardian. So she's comparing the guy she's in love with like his friend or like a guest of the house. So fucking funny. She's just like, yeah, he sucks. Sorry. Oh, okay, the woman she's jealous of. She was a mark beneath jealousy. She was too inferior to excite the feeling. Anyways, so Jade's a baddie. That's a fact, okay? The problem is, with what I've been reading of this book, the spoiler, the reveal, has been revealed to me, because I was reading the footnotes. My God, don't read the footnotes if you don't want to be spoiled. Because I was reading the footnotes, obviously, because I was like, okay, it's going to give me extra context around the history of this book and whatever. So I was reading the footnotes, and it spoiled me. It spoiled me on the reveal, and it's still making me angry because I have no idea how I would have read this book. Like, with all the little hints and everything that's happening, I don't know how I would have experienced the book not knowing these spoilers. I wish I could be in the story and like really have like figured out the mystery. Like, would I have been able to solve it? Would I have had theories? I don't know. That's the thing. But anyways, yeah, so this is the next book I'm going to be focusing on. I'll see if I can read it throughout the weekend. Hello, I'm currently in a drive-through and I really, really need to go to the bathroom, but I'm like 15 minutes away from home and this line is so long, so I'm stressed. So to distract myself, I'll update you guys. Nothing has happened. Genuinely nothing. I've not even started reading the book, so I don't even know what I want to update you on. So I watched Bridgerton, the first 4 episodes. I'd say the story's giving Cinderella, like very much Cinderella. And I like the story of Cinderella. I think it might just be the start now. I think later on, like, things are going to change. There's already like it's not the Cinderella story copy pasted, but there's a lot of little hints to the Cinderella story throughout the season. I'm liking the side plots. Oh, I like the fact that we are focusing a little bit more on the servants, like the help around, like all of these servants that you see in the background. We're like getting to know them a little bit more and we're getting to see their perspective a little bit more, especially like with John, for example, that was always helping Eloise in the previous seasons. It's nice to like see them a bit more now. I need to go to the bathroom so badly. I realized I'm making progress so slowly with the book that I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't know how long this is going to take me. And I want to kind of finish filming, oh my gosh, pretty soon so that I can start editing this video. I was able to find an audiobook for Jane Eyre though, so I think that'll help me when I'm driving around to at least keep making progress. And then what else? Oh, I was talking about Bridgerton Moss earlier. I forgot to mention there's a storyline with one of the Bridgerton siblings, Francesca. I am really excited for her season because I want there to be queer joy. So I'm excited for her storyline and her just everything that's going to happen with her. Oh, and like yesterday when I really needed to go to the bathroom, I decided to go at the takeaway place. I was just like, I won't survive. I would probably survive, but I don't know. Anyways, accidents could have happened for all I know. Should I be speaking about this? Anyway, so I really needed to go to the bathroom. And so I went inside and there was this lady cleaning the bathroom, so I couldn't go to the women's bathroom, and she was like, just pop over to the disabled bathroom. And I went over, I opened the door because it was open, and then there was a woman with her child in there and someone else as well. She looked so like flabbergasted. I'm like, okay, but the door's open. Anyways, so she was sorting out her child, and she locked the door and I'm outside standing there dying. Okay, the woman and her child leaves and there's like a flicker of hope, and then it gets extinguished because the other person inside, I think, needed to use the bathroom as well. So then that happened. So then I had to keep waiting, right? And this went on for so long that the woman that was cleaning the bathroom came out, saw me standing outside of the disabled bathroom, and she was like, okay, shit, you can go, like, just go here, just go. And the floors were like wet, and I was like, trying to make sure I like wasn't stepping too much on the floor. And then I went into the bathroom, there's no toilet paper. None at all. And she's like, here, use this. And I had to like go out again, and like she had toilet paper for me. That felt very dramatic because I was really in need of a bathroom, and there was just obstacles constantly in my way. I made it alive. Anyways, I'm not really in the mood to read, I'm gonna be honest, but I think I'll try and make some progress with Jane Eyre today. I don't know if I want to talk about the story, the progress that's happened with the story, because I don't want to spoil too much just if you are reading this, because I've received spoilers for this book and it's making the reading experience kind of interesting. I'm assuming it's kind of a common thing with the footnotes in classics. Because they're classics, they've been studied so much, and I think especially with footnotes, they just kind of assume that this is a story you're already familiar with. But if it's someone that's like new to classics, like reading it for the first time, it's not helpful. You're just spoiling the story. Hi guys! Oh my gosh, it's been like a week since I've updated you. Some things have happened in my personal life. It was a very emotional week. Anywho, I'm smiling now. It was kind of rough, but we've made it through. So let me update you about the book. So I wasn't able to read for quite a few days, but then I started feeling better. Things were working out. Things calmed down. And then I was able to start listening to the audiobook. And let me just say, listening to audiobooks for classics is honestly, I think it just makes it so much more enjoyable. It really helps with the tone. It just really feels like that's how they were meant to be read. Like you were supposed to be hearing them aloud. It's been so much fun listening to the audiobook. I have really been sucked in to this book for the first time. Really want to know what's going to happen. I feel a little bit more emotionally connected to the characters. Mr. Rochester is annoying the living shit out of me. Anywho, I'm like 77% of the way through now. I think I have like about 4 hours left on the audiobook. Today's a Friday, in case you're curious. I actually wanted to post this video today, but again, things happened, so things have changed. Hello. So I've finished Little Woman. What? I've finished Jane Eyre. Thoughts? The men in this book really annoy me. Like there was this man later on in the story, in this like last section, and it felt like he was trying to manipulate Jane and like kind of convince her of what she should be doing. Fantastic for her that she did not fuck with this man's bullshit. But like at one point he was like describing her character and he called her docile. I was like, Jane, docile? Stop talking bullshit. Stop talking bullshit, sir. You know clearly nothing about this woman. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I've given it now 4 stars. I'm really glad I was able to finish it. I do think I need to look towards audiobooks for classics in the future. I think it would just make the experience a little bit more enjoyable. Because the stories are really nice. It's just the language is quite dense and like it does feel like a slog sometimes to get through. And I checked, it has been exactly 3 months. It's been 93 days. So it's been 3 months to the day. So I started it on the 8th of November and now I finished it on the 8th of February. But I've done it. So that's the thing. It's really just the fact that I need to dedicate time to the books I'm reading. None of them were particularly. The thing is, they're not bad. Like gave Strength of the Few 3 stars, Book of Luke 4, Jane Eyre 4. Like they were enjoyable books. I think I was just not dedicating time towards reading them. Like it just felt all over the place. So thank you for joining me on this. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I don't know. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a lovely day and yeah, like and subscribe. Bye!